Night 2 of the biggest party of the summer is gonna start with this massive triple threat Women's World Championship match where Io Sky and Rhea Ripley will challenge Naomi for the Women's World Championship. Naomi is the same person who cashed in her Money in the Bank contract at Evolution to steal the Women's World Championship from Io Sky and Rhea Ripley, and that's why Io Sky goes after Naomi first in the matchup, but then she goes after Rhea Ripley as well. The Genius of the Sky has complete control at the start of the match. But Naomi is not backing down as well. She climbs the ropes to return to the scene, and she dives on Io Sky, but Io catches her with a beautiful snap power slam in the midair. The crowd loves what Io is doing, but they love what Rhea Ripley's doing as well. However, Naomi takes down Io at some point, and Rhea Ripley just stands there and watches Io Sky getting beaten down. It's a hard decision for Rhea to make. She knows that if Io is gonna be out of the scene, Naomi could be an easier opponent for herself. But she does nothing, so Naomi could take control. However, she's not successful to get the 3 count. After a couple of attacks, Rhea Ripley finally gains back the momentum and slams down Naomi with an alley-oop powerbomb. The Eradicator, the former multi-time Women's World Champion, is now in control, and she lifts the Women's World Champion up in the powerbomb position to slam her down sit-out style. But only for a near fall as Naomi kicks out. She rolls out, but here comes Io Sky. She's back, and she's on the top rope. She dives with a dropkick to Rhea Ripley and sends her out as well. Next to Naomi, she stands because Io wants to dive with a massive springboard moonsault to take them both down. She sends Naomi back in the ring, and Io Sky follows it up with a beautiful springboard dropkick. The crowd loves it. Io goes for the over the moonsault, but Rhea Ripley returns and knocks her off the top rope. The Eradicator climbs the ropes herself, and she's now diving with a dropkick to both women in the middle of the ring. Naomi rolls out again, but Io is now on the top of Rhea's shoulders, and she's going down face first with an electric chair facebuster. Rhea goes for the cover. But the Genius of the Sky survives and kicks out, so Rhea goes for the prison trap. However, Sky is aware, and she takes her down with a Hurricane Rana. She sends her off the ropes and takes her down again with another Hurricane Rana. She crawls to the corner to recover, but she's hit with the bullet train attack by Io Sky. Then Io puts her in position, climbs the ropes for over the moonsault, but then she sees Naomi coming back to the apron. She's interrupted again, and Naomi takes her down with a slingshot leg drop. Rhea, though, lifts her up, and she wants to slam Naomi down just like Io with an electric chair facebuster, but she cannot do the same thing to the Women's World Champion. She's taken down with another Hurricane Rana, followed by a rear view. Kick out by Ripley at 2. She survives, but Naomi immediately locks her in a submission. A modified Rings of Saturn is applied, and Rhea Ripley has nowhere to go. The Eradicator is struggling to get out of the submission, but she somehow finally manages to find a way to deliver a couple of knee strikes to Naomi to slip out of the submission. Then she goes for the Riptide, and she slams Naomi down with the Riptide. However, Io Sky finally dives with a moonsault to break things up. A spinning kick to Rhea Ripley as she rolls out. Now Naomi is in the middle of the ring, and she's hit with a double foot stomp right to the chest. The Genius of the Sky is gaining the momentum to become a 3-time world champion. Naomi's down, and Io covers her. But Rhea Ripley breaks things up. She returns, and she also blocks Io's attack and nails her with a massive kick right to the side of the head. Io is now in position. Io's now lifted up for the Riptide, but she somehow manages to counter it into a Hurricane Rana. She goes on the apron, wants another springboard dropkick, this time to Rhea Ripley, but she's caught in midair with a massive headbutt by the Eradicator. Io tries to go out to regroup, but Rhea's not letting her. She lifts her up, and she finally nails her with the Riptide, and she stacks Io up. At the very last moment, Naomi drags the referee out. Rhea Ripley was finally about to beat Io Sky, but she didn't because of Naomi. And Rhea Ripley is throwing out her aggression on the Women's World Champion. She clears the announce table. She is driven insane. and she puts Naomi on it. She joins her up there because the Eradicator wants to punish Naomi for what she did. But Naomi's fighting back as well. A couple of punches to finally gain control, to finally gain momentum in this exchange of shots. But Rhea takes her down face first and dives on her spine with a massive elbow drop. She sends Naomi back in the ring and climbs the ropes once again. But here comes Io Sky, a big punch right to the face. Io joins her up there and wants to fly the Spanish style as she successfully takes Rhea down with the Spanish fly. But as she barely gets back to her feet, Naomi arrives from behind and takes her down with a full Nelson sit-out slam. Io rolls out and Rhea is nailed with a split-legged moonsault. And Naomi hooks the leg. And that's it. Naomi successfully defends her title in her first title defense after winning the Women's World Championship at Evolution. She beat Io Sky and she beat Rhea Ripley to prove that she didn't steal the Women's World Championship, but she won the Women's World title because she absolutely deserved it. But another title that people think it is stolen, it is owned by this man, Dominic Mysterio, who's now gonna put the title on the line against the phenomenal one, the living legend, AJ Styles. And AJ waited a very long time to finally get his hands on Dominic Mysterio for the Intercontinental Championship. And that's why he starts the match aggressively, and Dominic Mysterio cannot do a single thing about it because the phenomenal one is beating the hell out of Dominic Mysterio with rapid kicks, punches, and knee strikes. So as always, he tries to escape. However, this time, AJ Styles wants to join him outside with a dive, but Dominic moves out of the harm's way again, which is met with loud boos from the crowd, which Dominic doesn't want to care. But AJ Styles goes out and Dominic thinks he had escaped, but a smart strategy by AJ Styles was about to catch him, but Dom still managed to escape, and this time he dodged a phenomenal forearm to the outside as well. He uses the barricade to get the upper hand against AJ Styles and sends him back in the ring and climbs the ropes. Even though most of the people like Dominic Mysterio, the boos are loud, and that's why he is distracted to the crowd. So when he dives, AJ moves, and the phenomenal combo by AJ Styles is nailed to take down Dominic, but at some point Dominic manages to counter as well and get back momentum by taking down AJ Styles with the Three Amigos. But as he goes for the third suplex, AJ Styles takes him down with a brainbuster instead. However, it's a near fall as Dominic Mysterio survives. He counters again and he gains back momentum again after a few minutes to keep AJ down with a slingshot senton. Dominic Mysterio is fired up. He loves it when he has the control against one of the greatest of all time. And he locks him in a single leg camel clutch submission. But AJ Styles, after a few seconds, slips out and lifts up Dominic Mysterio for an Ushi-Gurushi. But as he's in the seated position, AJ follows it up with a beautiful sliding forearm smash. The phenomenal one is fired up. He sends the Intercontinental Champion off the ropes to take him down with a snap German suplex. But kick out by Dom. He's still alive. But AJ doesn't like that, so he puts him on the ropes. But a counter by Dominic Mysterio gives him the opening to dive with a beautiful Hurricane Rana and take AJ down with a Michinoku driver. At 2.9, AJ Styles kicks out. Dominic climbs the ropes again, and this time he wants the frog splash. But AJ Styles recovers and takes him down from the top rope. Then he rolls through. He rolls through for the submission, for the calf crusher. It's applied and Dominic is screaming in pain, but he somehow puts his foot on the bottom rope, which forces a break. But AJ is not leaving him alone. AJ quickly follows it up with a torch rack spin out powerbomb and puts him in position for a beautiful springboard moonsault and hooks Dominic's leg. But Dominic kicks out at the very last second. He is still alive. But AJ Styles goes on the apron, perhaps for a phenomenal forearm. He's lining up Dominic Mysterio, but Dominic rolls out of the ring. AJ tries to join him, but Dominic returns to the apron, and again, with the escaping strategy, he gets the upper hand. This time, he delivers a massive destroyer on the hardest part of the ring. Then they return, and Dominic Mysterio sends AJ Styles into the second rope for a 619 right to the face. AJ Styles in position, and Dominic Mysterio climbs the ropes, and from the top, he dives with the frog splash. Unbelievably, AJ Styles kicks out. He doesn't want to give up against Dominic Mysterio. He didn't earn this match this easy to lose it this easy. And Dom wants to take him down again with a super kick, but he's met with a corner springboard version of a phenomenal forearm. Then AJ Styles follows it up with a springboard 450 splash. It's it. Here comes JD McDonough to put Dominic's foot on the bottom rope, which forces a break again. AJ had the match won, but he didn't win the match because of JD McDonough, so he immediately goes after him and punishes him for what he did. Slams to the barricade, slams on the apron, and for good measure, AJ Styles power bombs him on the ring post before slamming him down hard on the floor. But as the referee is telling AJ Styles to get back in the ring, we see Finn Balor who's passing a chair to Dominic Mysterio. Then he goes on the opposite apron to distract the referee. But if we want to take a close look, we see that Finn Balor placed the chair a bit too far from Dominic Mysterio, and that's why AJ Styles gets to the chair before Dominic, and Dominic begs for mercy. And that's how he manages to take down AJ Styles with a super kick. Then he goes for the 619, but AJ catches him, and he transitions that beautifully into a Styles Clash. And the fun fact is, the Styles Clash is nailed face first on the same steel chair that Finn Balor threw to the ring. AJ Styles throws the chair out, and Finn Balor comes down off the apron, and AJ lines Dominic Mysterio up, is calling for him for a phenomenal forearm right to the face. That's it! AJ Styles is the new Intercontinental Champion! And this victory was too sweet! But was that for Finn Balor as well? Did he do that on purpose? Or was it just a simple accident? Well, if it even was an accident, it wasn't simple because Finn Balor just cost Dominic Mysterio his Intercontinental Championship. But the Women's Intercontinental Championship will be on the line in the next matchup where Lyra Valkyria is challenging Becky Lynch for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. This is the third match of this massive rivalry between two Irish women. And this time, it's no disqualifications, no countouts. This match has to have a winner. And Lyra Valkyria starts off very hot by diving through the ropes. She has the momentum at the start of the match, and she slams Becky Lynch's face on the announce table. Then she wants to dive again, this time with a drop kick, but Becky moves and Lyra crashes down hard. Becky grabs the first weapon as it's a no disqualification, no countouts match. She slams the kendo stick right to the midsection of Lyra Valkyria, and she continues doing that when she's down. But then Becky Lynch tries to do something crazy. It's too early to do this, but Becky decides to clear the announce table. However, Lyra Valkyria is aware. She has recovered and she sends Becky back in the ring. She climbs the ropes and dives with a beautiful crossbody to take her down. The fired up Bird Lady takes down Becky Lynch with a couple of clotheslines and a kick. She sees that Becky is in position, so she lifts her up for a Fisherman Buster and bridges for the cover. But Becky survives. However, Lyra is not done yet. Lyra sends Becky into the corner. However, Lyra wants to continue, so she sends her into the corner, but Becky counters and delivers a chop. She follows it up with the famous combo of a forearm, springboard kick, and the Bexploder suplex. Becky Lynch badly wants to retain the Women's Intercontinental Championship, so she does whatever it takes. The fight gets outside, and now they're in the middle of the ring, where Becky delivers another Bexploder suplex, and then she grabs a steel chair. She runs at Lyra, wants to slam it into her midsection, but Lyra moves and delivers a Hurricane Rana instead. Then a DDT right on the same steel chair is delivered, so this gives Lyra the chance to drag Becky back to the ring. However, when they get closer to the ring, Becky finally counters, and she's the one who tosses Lyra into the barricade. The man follows it up with the suplex, gut first on the barricade. She sends her back in the ring, and the Women's Intercontinental Champion climbs the ropes. She wants to dive, and she does, with a leg drop right on the throat of Lyra Valkyria. But kick out by Lyra, and 2 keeps her alive in this matchup. Becky goes out, and this time she grabs a weapon that only she used it for the first time after a very long time. A barbed wire baseball bat Remember, at NXT No Mercy when she was competing against Tiffany Stratton, Becky Lynch loved using this weapon, so she brings it out again this time. Even though that was a distraction Lyra needed to get the upper hand, but Becky still managed to survive. But after some We Want table chants, Lyra Valkyria, who has the upper hand now, grabs a table from under the ring and returns to the ring. But that was the time Becky needed to recover, so she nails her with a manhandle slam and covers her. But a kick out by Lyra at 2.9. But Becky wants to use the table Lyra brought in against herself. She sets her up in the corner. But then we see Lyra Valkyria, who's recovered and runs at Becky Lynch. She takes her down. And after a snapmare, she nails her with a double leg dropkick. She wants to put her through the table, but Becky counters as she puts Lyra through the table with a Bexploder suplex. But it's not enough. Lyra Valkyria is still managing to survive. She crawls to the corner to regroup, but Becky's not leaving her alone. She puts her on the top turnbuckle, and she delivers another variation of the Bexploder. The avalanche style is nailed, and Becky goes for the cover again. But kick out by Lyra again. Becky Lynch cannot believe it, so she grabs the barbed wire baseball bat. She is lining Lyra up, but when she runs, Lyra manages to catch her. She powers her up in the fireman's carry for the Nightwing. Becky kicks out before 3. Lyra's had enough. She wants more weapons. She grabs a trash can lid from under the ring and she puts it on Becky Lynch. She wants to deliver a splash on Becky with that lid on her. But as she wants the crowd to support her, Becky recovers and throws the same lid to knock her off the top rope. Lyra moves to the corner again, and Becky takes advantage of this again. She puts her on the top rope, but this time, not for a simple Bexploder, this time for an avalanche style of the manhandle slam from the second rope. Kick out by Lyra Valkyria. It's unbelievable, but it's happening. Becky picks up the barbed wire baseball bat, but Lyra recovers, takes the bat from her, and she finally slams right to the midsection of Becky Lynch. She does that one more time, and Becky's hurt badly. Lyra Valkyria follows it up by powering her up again for another Nightwing and stacks her up. And that's it. Here's your new and two-time Women's Intercontinental Champion, Lyra Valkyria. She finally managed to take back the title that was stolen from her. But can the participants of the next matchup do the same thing? It is a steel cage matchup where the Samoan werewolf Jacob Fatu will challenge the man who he betrayed at Money in the Bank, Solo Sikoa, for the United States Championship, which of course this title was stolen from him as well. A few seconds of a stare down at the start of the match before Jacob Fatu fires at Solo Sikoa with a massive running headbutt. He sends him off the ropes for a pop-up power bomb. The Samoan werewolf is fired up. He wants to take back the United States Championship by any means necessary. Then Jacob successfully gets the upper hand until the point Solo Sikoa delivers a massive Samoan drop to the Samoan werewolf. But as he's taunting, as he thinks that he has the control of the match, a sudden kick out by Jacob Fatu shows that Solo Sikoa can never be sure about having the control in this matchup. Because Jacob Fatu is tossing Solo Sikoa face first to the steel structure, and he does it again by throwing him spine first. Jacob Fatu is manhandling Solo Sikoa. This sends him into the corner, and he wants a mighty moonsault, but Solo Sikoa escapes by crawling to the opposite corner. So Jacob Fatu has no choice but to come down. He runs at him to the corner, but that was the strategy Solo used to get the upper hand, to counter the attack and deliver a belly-to-belly suplex. The US champ takes down Jacob Fatu with a couple of close lines, and after delivering a headbutt, Sikoa goes on the second rope for a diving headbutt, which Jacob Fatu moves. Then Jacob pounces him spine first into the steel structure. Jacob Fatu was driven insane. He's handling Solo like it's nothing, and he delivers a pop-up Samoan drop, and he covers him, but Solo Sikoa manages to kick out. Jacob Fatu is not done yet. He's climbing the ropes, but Solo Sikoa is down. So that means he has the chance to escape and win the match. But he decides to dive with a whisper in the wind, but Solo moves and nails him with the spinning Solo. And he covers him, but Jacob Fatu kicks out as well. Solo can't believe it. He goes for the Samoan spike, but Jacob Fatu counters, delivers a right hand, and goes for the whisper in the wind again. But he's caught with a super kick, this time in the midair. This was crazy, and Solo Sikoa spikes Jacob Fatu rapidly in the throat. Jacob's done, and Solo knows that. That's why he calls Rod Zapata to arrive and open the door so Solo could escape. He knows Jacob's down, and the door is finally open. But as Solo is trying to leave, we see the Samoan werewolf somehow managing to recover. He fires at Solo again, tossing him back in the ring. He follows it up with an Impaler DDT. Solo's down. He's in the drop zone. And Jacob delivers a mighty moonsault. But he's fired up. He wants revenge. This match is not just for the title, but it's also for revenge. So Jacob Fatu delivers a massive hip attack in the corner and dives with another mighty moonsault to the United States champion. But before it could capitalize, we see JC Mateo and Tonga Loa climbing the structure, trying to enter the ring. But then we see Jimmy Uso arriving as he takes down Tonga Loa. He takes him down with a jaw-breaking super kick. So JC Mateo has to climb down as well. He comes down and Jimmy Uso handles him as well. A super kick to the knee, followed by another one to the face. But as Jacob Fatu thinks this waste of time would not keep Solo down for 3 seconds, he calls for the door. But out of nowhere comes Tala Tonga, crushing Jimmy Uso. He delivers a massive knee to his face. Tala Tonga is here, and as the referee is opening the door of the cage for Jacob Fatu to leave it, Tala Tonga goes and argues with him. The referee tells him that he cannot interfere, but Tala Tonga is not paying any attention. He enters the structure and he's coming after Jacob Fatu. He powers him up as easy as a snap for a massive Samoan drop, and he follows it up with the bigger running power slam. Then we see Solo Sikoa getting back to his fate, and he says his savior Tala Tonga saved the match for Solo Sikoa. But he should be worried about saving himself because Jacob Fatu has recovered and he tosses him over the ropes into the steel structure. But here comes Solo Sikoa trying to deliver another Samoan spike, and he does that in the most brutal way you could imagine. Solo Sikoa has Jacob Fatu down, and he takes advantage of this and he climbs the steel structure to leave and retain the United States Championship. But as he's struggling up there, Jacob Fatu is getting back to his feet. However, he's knocked out again by Tala Tonga. A big punch to the face and a jaw-breaking knee, which gives Solo the chance to climb out of the cage because Tala Tonga has Jacob Fatu down for Solo, and Solo Sikoa retains his United States Championship by escaping the cage. Everyone thought that a steel cage matchup could be a great way to finally have a fair one-on-one match between Solo and Jacob, but the MFTs somehow found a way to help Solo retain again. But it's now time for the massive main event of the show, where Cody Rhodes, the King of the Ring, will be challenging John Cena for the Undisputed Championship, the rematch of WrestleMania 41. This time, it's a street fight, and Cody Rhodes starts off very high, and as he said, this time, it's not about winning, it's about violence. He's the first person who grabs numerous weapons from under the ring, including steel chairs and a table, which he sets it up at ringside. And when he wants to return, the recovered John Cena tries to take him down, but Cody Rhodes is aware, and he dives with a dropkick from the top rope. Then he punches him very hard in the face, which busts John Cena open. And Cody Rhodes continues the beatdown, continues the punishment by wearing Cena down in the corner. Kicks after kicks, punches after punches, and John Cena seems not ready for this type of punishment. Even though he tries to fight back, he cannot overcome the awareness of Cody Rhodes, because a snap power slam is all it takes for Cody Rhodes to keep down John Cena. So he would be able to pick up a steel chair and squash John Cena with it by slamming it right to his midsection. Time after time he does that, where Cena has no choice but to escape, but Rhodes joins him out there with a suicide dive through the ropes. Cody's not just using weapons, but he's also using the environment. He tosses Cena into the ring post, and he follows it up with a moonsault off the barricade. The fight gets near the announce table as Cody Rhodes delivers a swinging neckbreaker, and he clears the announce table, where John Cena recovers, and they both are now on the top of the announce table. The people are loving what they're seeing. Cody Rhodes and John Cena exchanging blows on the top of the announce table, where Cody Rhodes wants to take Cena down, and he successfully does that with a massive superplex off the announce table. Then he sends John Cena back in the ring, throws another steel chair in the ring, and climbs the ropes. Again, the American Nightmare wants to dive, but Cena moves away, and Cody can't dive from that distance. He comes down and he runs at Cena, but Cena dodges and takes him down with a modified body slam. Cody rolls out and goes on the apron trying to regroup, but Cena is not leaving him alone. But Cody uses his awareness again to get the upper hand against Cena. He climbs the ropes again, but this time Cena is aware, and he delivers a punch which knocks Cody off the top rope on the apron, and Cena joins him there, and from the apron he delivers a massive powerbomb through the table at ringside. This was huge, and John Cena is taking advantage. He sends Cody back in the ring. He returns as well and delivers a massive attitude adjustment. But Cody kicks out. Cena, though, doesn't want to waste any more time. He picks up the steel chair that Cody brought in, and he's calling for Cody. He wants to slam it right to his face, but Cody blocks, and then he nails him with a springboard Cody cutter. The American Nightmare is not done yet. He picks him up, and he delivers another Cody cutter, the top rope style, and now he goes for the cover. But Cena kicks out. Cena somehow survives. Cody, though, sends him out again. The brawl gets outside again. Cody puts him on the announce table and climbs the ropes. Maybe he wants to deliver a splash. But as he wants the crowd to cheer for him, John Cena recovers, and he throws a water bottle at him, which he picked up from the announce table. Cody is knocked off the top rope back in the ring, and Cena follows it up with a diving Famouser, and he hooks Cody's leg. But Cody kicks out at the very last second. Cena grabs a table from under the ring, but Cody recovers and delivers a baseball slide kick. But as he joins him at ringside again, this time John Cena delivers an attitude adjustment right through the announce table. They return to the ring, and Cena sets up another table in the middle of the ring. He lifts up Cody again. He puts him through another table with another attitude adjustment. Kick out by Cody again. Cena can't believe it. Neither can we. And Cena calls for another attitude adjustment. He ducks under Cody's clothesline, and he picks him up again. But Cody comes down this time, and he ducks underneath for a crossroads, and he hooks Cena's leg. Kick out by John Cena at 2. Cody Rhodes cannot believe it. He goes outside again. He clears the other announce table. He's already put through one, but this time when he puts John Cena on it, he wastes no more time. He climbs the ropes, and he immediately follows it up with a massive moonsault to the undisputed champion. But he's exhausted as well. He falls down as well. Both men are down. Both of the announce tables are broken. There are signs of broken tables and steel chairs in the middle of the ring, and Cody Rhodes somehow recovers and sends John Cena back in the ring. He plans to end this, but if they let him end it.
If you smell what The Rock is cooking.
You heard it right. The final boss is here. He was last seen at the Elimination Chamber where all these started, and this time he arrives with a steel chair in his hands. He stares down with Cody Rhodes, and you may not believe it, but he hands the steel chair to Cody Rhodes. Then he shouts that loud that we can hear what he says. That's it, Cody. That's it. I started all these. This was all a plan. I knew this would have brought the real Cody Rhodes out of you. I knew this would have brought a different side from you. And I victimized one of the greatest of all time just for you. Can't you see? I did that. I victimized John Cena because I know how valuable you are. I hope you could finally understand that you're dedicating your soul to the wrong people. I forgive you for what you said, and my arms are open for you again. Thank you, Final Boss. Thank you for helping me bring the side I never knew I could. Thank you for helping me understand that being good is not always the way to success. Thank you for reminding me that my soul is mine. Cody Rhodes did the unthinkable. We all thought that he was about to sell out to The Rock, but he's not gonna sell out. Cena wants to take down Cody with the belt, but Cody is aware of him and he takes him down with a crossroads. He rolls through. He's not done yet. He delivers another one, but he's not thinking about a third crossroads. He lets Cena fall and he picks up the undisputed title instead. And it's revenge taken by Cody Rhodes by doing the same thing Cena did to him at WrestleMania 41. And that's how the American Nightmare recaptures the Undisputed Championship. The Undisputed Championship that he thought was stolen from him. The same title that had a lot of shenanigans, involved The Rock. He wanted Cody's soul. And Cody thought that he has dedicated his soul to the people. But now he realizes that his soul is his.